yogis! Welcome back. I'm coming to you again from Pyramid Valley. Today I'm in the Labyrinth, and it is an absolutely beautiful, breathtaking place to do an intermediate Vinyasa practice. In our practice today, we'll focus on backbends. When you do a backbend, keep a strong core and focus on lengthening all across the entire back line of your body. So from the tips of your toes or the tailbone all the way up to the crown of your head, we're creating length rather than just bending back and sinking into the weakest part of the spine. You could imagine that you take a long wire. Now, if you bend a long wire and it's bent equally on both sides with equal pressure, then it creates kind of a rainbow or an arch shape. But if you bend the wire at an angle, it compresses at the weakest point. We don't want to create this huge amount of compression in the back body. Take care of yourself while you practice. Lengthen and strengthen your core, then go up and back as much as possible. So sit down on your heels, turn the palms of your hands up, and gently close your eyes. As a human species, we're doing everything for our own well-being. And we have different ideas of what well-being is. We practice today and come together to realign our mind, our body, and our spirit, and to let go of anything that is restricting you from living a life of true well-being. Take a deep breath in, and a long breath out. Open the eyes. Place the palms of the hands down at the top of your mat and walk the feet back to come into a down dog. So you can grip really hard with the tips of your fingers, and you can start this with kind of a short down dog. It doesn't have to be the biggest down dog ever. The heels descend closer to the ground. Whether they touch or not is not important. Lengthen through the insides of the elbows, hollow out through the armpits. Then imagine that there's a little beam of light on your sit bones. Point the beam of light up towards the ceiling rather than down towards the ground so that we create more length in the spine. Keep pointing the beam up if you need to. You can bend the knees to send that beam up really high to the sky. Keep the core strong and steady. Firm up through the legs, spread through your toes, make your base really wide. And if it feels good, you can begin to straighten the legs as we hold for a few more breaths, but only if your little beam of light continues to point up. Now imagine that there is a beam of light on the crown of your head. As the crown of the head goes forward, the body, the torso gets longer. Draw the low belly in and up. Feel as if you're splitting in two. The bottom of the rib cage is pulled in. And take a deep breath in. With a sigh, let it go. Inhale, round forward into a high plank, high push-up position with a rounded back. Push with the tips of your fingers towards the ground. You might even come a little bit further forward if you want to work deeper into the wrist, but only if this doesn't hurt your wrist. The bum stays down, so the bum is closer to in line with the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, drop your knees, your chest, and your chin to the ground. Ashtangasana. This is the first back bend that we're doing today. Draw the elbows in close. Pull the head of the arm bones up and back. Then extend through the crown of the head and pull the sit bones up towards the ceiling. Engage all the little muscles of your lower back. Cobra pose. Flatten the belly down onto the ground, pelvis to the floor. Inhale, lengthen, lift your chest. Maybe hands off the ground. Look, no hands. Come up a little bit higher. Pull the feet backwards. Open up through the chest. Again, head of the arm bones back. Press back, child's pose. Keep the knees close to each other. Hips connect to the heels. Arms reach forward, elbows up off of the ground. Take a deep breath in. And a long sigh out. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, curl the toes under, press back, down dog. Inhale, round the spine forward, come into a high plank position. Like a wave, exhale, bend the knees, bum up to the ceiling, chest forward to the dog. One more time, inhale, round forward to a high plank, high push-up position. Exhale, bend the knees, chest lifted, press back into the dog. Inhale, round the spine, come forward, little bit different this time. Exhale, drop your knees. Chest, extend through the spine, Ashtangasana, chin down. Inhale, slide forward, baby cobra. Exhale, press back, child's pose, knees close to each other. Inhale, stand up on the knees, reach the arms to the ceiling. Exhale, step forward with your left foot into a lunge. So for a moment, let your hips sink down. Notice that the left knee comes really far forward. It starts to move even a little bit beyond the ankle, more over top of the toes. As we come into Anjaneyasana here, this version offers more back bend. So take a moment, gently touch your back, see how the spine feels, then press down into your left foot, lengthen, bring your pelvis into a neutral position so the hip bones point up and the sit bones point down. Then again, one hand to the front of the belly, other hand to the lower back, bend the knees, sink down, feel how it changes. One more time, pelvis into a more neutral position. Natural curve in the back. Then tilt forward and keep the low belly in. Inhale, arms up. Bring your left knee directly over top of your left ankle. Hands through to heart center. Twist to the left elbow to the outside of right knee. So as we twist, the muscular engagement begins at the lower back and it ripples all the way up through to the crown of the head. Squeeze the legs towards each other. Ground down through the tips of your right toenails and press the palms together as the entire upper body twists to the left. And gaze down to the ground. Left hand to the floor on the inside of left foot. Open the hip. Roll the right side of the pelvis to the right and reach the right arm all the way up to the ceiling. Now you can turn your gaze up to the sky if you'd like, otherwise you can keep your gaze down. Squeeze the legs together again, open up through the chest, and notice how your spine feels here. There's still a lengthening from the crown of your head all the way to your sit bones. Notice if there's a crunching that happens in the side body. See if you can lengthen that out. Lengthen the bottom side of the body, lengthen the top side of the body. And lower your right hand to the mat. Hands either side of your front foot. Slide your front foot forward. Flex through the left toes. Drag your left heel in. Keep your right hip as close over top of your right knee as possible. Inhale, lengthen, lift the chest. Exhale, fold down over top of your left leg. Let your spine round. Visualize that your forehead comes all the way down to touch your left shin. It doesn't matter if it actually does, but the visualization practice will allow you to go deeper. Right now, our spine is in flexion. Inhale, lengthen, lift your head, lift your chest. Pause. Keep as much natural curve of the spine as possible. So the sit bones go back, the crown of the head comes forward. You might have to come up onto the tips of your fingers. This time try and find length. And hands come back behind you. This is a little bit of a challenge point. We'll do the modification first, and we'll try it a little bit deeper on the other side. So the tips of the fingers turn around. Thumbs face forward. The pits of the elbows spin in as well. Curl the toes under on your right foot. Lift your left foot up. Lower the left heel down a little bit closer. Flatten the left foot on the floor. Round through your spine. Lift your right knee off of the ground. If that feels good, press into the hands more. Do a little jump with your right foot, knee into the chest. Gaze down, maybe touch the shin. Ooh. And step back. Right foot to the floor at about a 45-degree angle. Hands either side of the left foot. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward, square your hips towards your left foot. Again, maybe the forehead touches the knee, maybe not. Whatever you're doing, invite length into the spine. Draw the legs towards each other. Engage your inner thighs. It'll help to protect your core. Up onto the tips of the fingers again, hands under the shoulders. Pelvis tilts forward. Step back, down dog. Hands toward the front, lift your left leg, bring your left foot beside your right. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, ground through the heels. Inhale, strengthen the legs. Exhale, lengthen the side body. Inhale, shoulders stay strong. Exhale, open through the armpits. Inhale, round the spine, come forward to a high plank, high push-up position. Exhale, drop your knees, your chest, and your chin to the ground. Inhale, slide forward, baby cobra. Exhale, push back, child's pose. Knees stay close to each other. Inhale, tabletop, hands under shoulders, hips over knees. Exhale, press back, down dog. Inhale, reach the left leg up high to the sky, left hip down in line with the right. Step your left foot between your hands, bend, curl round the upper back into a lunge. In this lunge, stay high up onto the heel. Bring your left hand towards your left thigh. Now you might need to scoot your left foot a little bit further forward like I did, depends on where your foot lands. Press down with the left arm, roll the left shoulder back, gaze and twist up towards the ceiling. Keep your right hip back slightly, left hip forward. Ground down with your left hand to assist in the rotation, and maybe turn your gaze all the way up. Look towards the ground, lower both of the hands to the inside of left foot. Pivot around, toes face the front, fold forward. Reach down, grab onto the outside of the heels, and shake your head. Get out any tension that you might have developed as you bring the bum up high to the ceiling. Keep the body weight moving forward into the front of the feet so the heels begin to come light. And both hands to the left ankle. Stretch into the left side of the torso. Body weight still moves into the front of the feet. Notice if the pelvis loses its neutral position. Then back to the center. Other side, left hand to the right ankle. This time, deep stretch into the left side of the body. Engage the front of the thighs. Keep the legs strong. And spread your toes wide. The toes are your base. And both hands to the ground, either side of your right foot. Lift your left heel. Come high up onto the tips of your right fingers. Press down, round through the back. If you'd like an extra challenge, float your right leg up. Heel off of the ground, otherwise just imagine it. Step back, down dog, palms flat. Whew, that one's a doozy. You might feel the front of your thigh start to cramp. It's all good. If you feel the body start to cramp, it just means that it's working. Turn the pits of the elbows to face in. Notice if the rib cage is flaring out, draw the bottom of the ribs in. Keep the core strong and focus on your breath. Inhale, round the spine, come forward to a high plank, high push-up position. Exhale with bent knees or straight legs this time. Wave it back into the dog. Inhale, round the spine, come forward, high plank. Exhale, wave back into the dog. Inhale, round forward, high plank, high push-up. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin. Lower slow, elbows just close to the sides of the body. Inhale, baby cobra. Ground down through your toes. Exhale, push back, child's pose. Inhale, stand up on the knees, reach the arms to the ceiling. Exhale, step your right foot towards the front of your mat. Sink into the hips again. Let the right knee come slightly forward. Feel a deep stretch in your left hip flexor. The pelvis remains neutral, facing the side. And if it's a lot of pressure on your left knee, you can always put something under your left knee, or just push more with your left toes so that the knee begins to hover. And left hand to your lower back. Right hand to the lowest part of your belly. Push down with the feet, neutral pelvis position. You can use your hand to pull up slightly to keep the belly tucked in. Try and keep that neutral for as long as possible. Then eventually as you lean forward, it goes more into the lower back. Push down, lift up, back into the same position. Lean, take the knee forward directly over top of your second or third toe. Last one, come back. Lean forward. Inhale, both arms up, pelvis in neutral. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Inhale, lengthen the spine, lift your chest. Exhale, twist to the right. Left elbow to the outside of right knee. Press the hands together and feel into your pelvic floor muscles. These are one of our more unconscious sets of muscles, especially when you first start practicing. Try and press your hands in really hard to each other, then engage that pelvic floor muscle, pull it up. Then let go. Without pressing the hands, engage the pelvic floor muscle. Do you feel the difference? Right hand to the ground on the inside of the right foot. Left arm up towards the ceiling. So generally, the pelvic floor muscles are easier to feel when you push down into something. You can use that as a little reminder on how to turn it on in case you forget. With your right shoulder, press the right knee open to open more into the hips. Again, lengthen into the bottom right side of the body. And both hands to the ground, either side of your front foot. Straighten your right leg, press the heel forward, and keep your right heel in line with your hip. Inhale, lengthen, lift your chest. Exhale, fold, round through the back, and try and bring your forehead close to the inside of your shin. Ground down through the tips of your left toenails. Flex your right foot and try and drag your right heel in really close to your body. Without actually moving it, the sensation of dragging will open into your right calf, your right hamstring a little more. Inhale, lengthen up onto the tips of the fingers. Find the length in the spine. See if you can do this from a natural curve. Hands might need to be up on top of the shin to get more natural curve. Otherwise, just chill out here. Both hands come back. Tips of the fingers face the back of the room. Thumbs turn forward. Lengthen. Curl the toes under. Knee needs a little break. Lift it up slightly. Curl the toes under. Lean backwards onto the knee. Scoot your right foot closer in. Ground into the left toes. Place your right sole of the foot on the ground. Lean back. Come into a little hop. Bend the knee in. Hold. Breathe. Squeeze. Left foot to the ground. Foot at a 45-degree angle. Both hands either side of your right foot. Inhale, lengthen, lift your chest. Exhale, fold forward over top of your right leg. Again, the spine is in a rounded position. As the left heel lowers down towards the ground, you get a deep stretch into the left calf. Now, when I talk about where you're feeling this in your body, I'm speaking to where I feel it from my personal experience. Different people will feel it in different areas of the body because of the experiences that you've had with this body. Notice where you feel it in your body. Inhale, lengthen, lift your head, lift your chest. Exhale, step back, down dog. Inhale, round the spine, come forward to a high plank position. Exhale, drop the knees, chest and chin to the ground. Inhale, come forward, baby cobra. Exhale, press back, child's pose, knees stay towards each other. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, press back, down dog. Inhale, reach the right leg straight up to the ceiling. Keep the hips level. Create a beautiful line from the tip of your toe all the way towards your right fingertips. No need to overextend it and open the hip. Keep everything in line. Bend the right knee, round through the spine, step forward, right foot between the hands. Look forward, squeeze the legs towards each other. Twist. Left hand to the ground on the inside of right foot, but underneath the right shoulder. Right hand to the right thigh, away from the right knee. Press down with the right shoulder twist, gaze up towards the ceiling. Keep the strength in your left thigh. Hips float just slightly. The right thigh is as close to parallel to the ground as possible. Right knee is directly over top of right ankle. Right shin is parallel. More twist by more pressure on the right thigh. Then both hands to the inside of your right foot. Lift your right toes, pivot around, lower your left heel. Fold forward between your legs. Both of the hands to the outside of the heels, head down close to the ground. Press down into the pinky toe edge of your feet. Engage the inner arch of your foot. So from this area right here, we pull up. The inner arch of the foot is connected to the core. Feel the inside line of the legs firm. Once that firms, draw the lower belly in. See if you can create a bit more strength, a bit more stability by holding the core strong. Lift your head up, lengthen the spine. Bend both of the knees, turn the toes out. Lift the hands up, hands on top of the thighs, like you're coming into a lazy goddess. Now you guys know I really like to wear my hair down while I practice. It's a feeling of liberation there for me. So pardon me while I wipe it out of my way. Sink down nice and deep. You can do a few little bounces to find the place that you need it. Then open the knees wide, lengthen through the spine, and reach the arms out wide to the sides. Take a deep breath in. Exhale to the left. Left elbow on top of right thigh. Lean over to the left. Turn the palm of the right hand down to the ground and engage through the left side of the torso. So we work into the left oblique. The right side of the body is long like a rainbow. Inhale up to the center. Other side, right elbow down, lean towards the right. Turn the palm down, engage into the right side of the body. Draw the lower belly in and soften your toes on the earth. Inhale back up to the center. Straighten both of the legs, pivot the toes to face forward. Lead with the chest, pause once your torso is neutral. Strong core, lean into the front of your feet, let the heels hover. Come so far forward it feels like you're going to fall, but then catch yourself. And lower both of the hands down, grab onto the outside of your heel. Both hands to the left. Lift your left heel, pivot your left toes. Pardon me. Both hands to the left. Lift your left toes, pivot on your left heel. Right heel comes up. Hands down either side of your front foot. Round into the upper back. Push down with the hands, lift your heel. Step back, down dog. Bend the knees, do a little booty shake. And straighten the legs, find center. Again, bend the knees, booty shake, you can even hop. And come back into down dog. Inhale, round the spine, come forward, high push-up. Exhale, drop your knees, your chest, and your chin to the ground. No worries if you did that from a really short down dog. Inhale, lengthen, lift your chest, cobra pose. Exhale, chest down. Tips of the fingers to the ground, elbows up to the ceiling like little grasshopper wings. Yet keep your grasshopper wings wide rather than close to the body like chaturanga. Roll the head of the arm bones back. No pressure with the hands. Lift up, use the strength. If you need to test for pressure, take the hands off. No movement means no pressure. And lower your torso back down. Again, lift up, this time a little bit of pressure. Roll the head of the arm bones back. Elbows stay bent, pull your chest forward. As you pull your chest to the front, think up and forward. So rather than back, up and forward will keep giving the length. Press down through the legs, elbows come in. And slowly, chest all the way down to the ground. Hands underneath your shoulders. Press back onto a tabletop position. Walk the hands back in nice and close to your body and sit with your hips on top of your heels. We're going to work this next back bend in a couple of different ways. First version, arms up towards the ceiling. Bring your right arm in front, left arm to the back, palms touch each other, and just press your chest forward. Create the length in your spine, the bum stays grounded, arch back. Head to the inside of the arms. Notice where you feel this in your body. If it's in your lower back, try and lift up more through the place in the middle of where your bra strap level would be. Even the men know where the bra strap level is if you've ever taken off a woman's bra. And come back to the center. Other side, opposite hand in front, other one on the back. Inhale, lengthen. Boobies to the sky. lift up and out of the waist as the bum grounds down. Press the hands back. It's okay if you don't get too much movement here. Squeeze the palms together. Inhale, up to the center. You're welcome to stick with that version. Otherwise, we'll come into a camel. Come up onto the knees. Ground the shoelace side of your feet down towards the ground. First version of camel, more beginner. Tips of the fingers face the ground. Hands go right at the top of your bum cheeks, so the heels of the hand press into the sacrum. Press the pelvis forward. Keep really strong thighs. Chin tucked into the chest as you begin to arch back. You might just stay here. If that feels good, lift up more out of the waist. Arch a little bit further. Elbows are drawing in. Hands are on your butt. Firm the heck out of your butt. Inhale, come back up to the center. Second round, you can do exactly the same thing. Otherwise, we go a bit deeper. Right hand to the right heel. The pelvis still presses forward. Left hand towards the left heel for camel. Chest up towards the ceiling. Really focus on taking this area up to the sky. Lean back, breathe deep. Shoelace side of the feet push down, belly is in strong. Lead with your chest, come back up to the center. Now you might need to sit down because sometimes the vulnerability of opening up into the chest and opening the throat can make you feel a little bit dizzy. If you need to, take a break. You can pause the video and then resume afterwards, or just sit this next one out. This time we are going to attempt a floating camel. Now, floating camel is a tricky one. If you don't get it the first time, don't worry about it. It's something that needs to be practiced over and over and over again. And most of it's just about learning to manage our body weight. So come a little bit closer into the center. The knees are directly underneath the hips. Shoelace side of the feet down to the ground. Then lean back. Place your hands on top of the ball of your feet. So you can go only one first, just to check it out. Reach the left arm up to the ceiling and gaze up. Flatten your right palm, spread your fingers. Notice that the fingers reach really far back. This is what we're going to use to balance on. It's kind of like a little cheat. See if you can create the length in the front of your body. Keep the core drawn in. Really strong. Lift up. Lean back. Up and then back. And please switch sides. Lift up. Come through the center. Left hand comes down just so that we do the same entry. Put the left palm flat. Pelvis up. Reach the right arm to the ceiling. See how it feels in your body. It's a version of half camel. Spread through the fingers, shift the body weight back onto your left toes. This is another way to test whether or not it's going to be successful because it's a lot of pressure on the tops of the feet. And open through the chest. Imagine someone's pulling your right hand up. Keep the pulling further up to the center. All right, guys, let's float the camel. Both hands come back behind you. Sit your hands on top of your feet, and you can let the hips sink down for a moment. As the pelvis lowers down, just lean back, let the bum come down, and lift your knees off of the ground. So we're balanced on the hands, knees up. Cool, put the knees down, sit your bum down. That's step number one. If it was too much pressure on your feet, keep practicing. Rolling over your feet in downward dog. Do it several times. It'll help to build the strength, build the flexibility in the front of your ankles. If it felt good, step number 2 to float your camel. Hands to the feet, spread through the fingers. Keep the fingers as far back as possible. Lean back, hips come down. Float the knees up. Keep the chin into the chest, start to press your pelvis up towards the ceiling. strong arms. Pelvis comes up, press. Oy! Working with the body weight. Let's do it one more time. The knees are down onto the ground underneath the hips. Press the pelvis forward. It goes a little bit beyond the knees. Both of the hands down, maybe same time to the feet. Lean back into the arms. Push hard with the arms. Push down into the balls of your feet. Float the knees up. Chin into the chest. Pelvis towards the ceiling. Lift, balance on the arms. All the way up. Whew. Lower the hands down to the ground. Keep the length in your spine. Press back to a really short down dog. You can release the front of the feet by bending the knees one at a time. Now I've got one more treat for you guys today. Look forward to the front, bend both of the knees, take a jump forward, sit into a yogi squat. Arms can reach out in front of you. Maybe bring the hands to heart center. Whatever feels like it's going to nourish your personal well-being the most. So the interesting thing about well-being is everything that we do is based on wanting our own general sense of well-being. Even the person that's going to the pub every single weekend or every single night is trying to create a state of well-being, whether they're trying to numb some type of emotion, forget something or not feel, or to fill a desire or a need for some type of pleasure. If you're looking for more money, these are all spiritual processes. They're just misguided spiritual processes, because having a general sense of well-being is what everyone is looking for. We're all searching for happiness. And this camel drop back brings me a lot of happiness. Okay, here we go. Lift your bum up, turn the toes to face forward. Lift your heels off the ground and slowly lower your knees towards the floor. So you can sit back with your hips on top of the heels first. I recommend watching the demonstration of this and then coming into the pose, because the first time can be a little bit scary. Your arms are there to catch you. You will not land on your head, but that is the fear of this. If this is your very first time, practice with someone to spot you. Have them come stand in front of you and they can hold on to the hips, or stand behind with the arms cupped, just to make sure that there's a little bit of cushion to stop you from falling back too quickly. This is something that we learn to spot in the teacher trainings that I run. Hopefully I'll see you guys on one of those soon. Okay, enough pause. Lift your hips off of the heels, bring the shoelace side of the feet down to the ground. You might just modify and do another camel here. Otherwise, curl the toes under, reach the arms up high to the sky, press the pelvis forward, lean, look at the ground. Heels come, knees come up, roll back, and the hands touch the ground to come into a wheel. From the knees, it's a drop back. Core is strong, high up onto the hips of the heels. We'll do it one more time. To come out, you lower down to the ground or go back the way you came. Knees come down to the ground. Little press with the hands or two. Come all the way up. Again, pelvis must stay forward. That pelvis pushing up is going to help like crazy. Pelvis forward, forward, forward. Hands back. As the knees come up, hands go down. Catch yourself with the arms. Wheel pose. So again, low belly drawn in. The inner thighs squeeze towards each other, but the knees stay over top of the ankles. There's an opening happening into the chest. Palms flat onto the ground. Arms are strong and stable. If you'd like, you can bend one knee to the chest and straighten the leg up towards the ceiling, just to up it a level. And bend the right leg in. Lower your right foot to the floor. Bend the left knee to your chest. And lift the left leg up to the ceiling. Such a pretty pose. And bend the left leg. And lower your left foot down to the ground. Bend the knees, bend the elbows. Lower down. Bring your shoulder blades towards the ground. Slide back so that you're centered on your mat. And straighten both of the legs. Flatten your lower back on the floor. Arms can come down at the sides of the body. We're not quite in Savasana yet. This is a moment to pause, to recenter. Happy baby. Lift the legs up towards the ceiling. Bend both of the knees and grab onto the inside of your feet. Pull the knees to the outside of the arms, then flatten your entire lower back on the ground. The sacrum is connected to the ground. That's the lowest part of your spine, right at the top of your bum crack. Keep the top of your bum crack grounded. If you notice your bum's coming up, then bring the bum down. From the inside of the legs, hug the legs in, even if it means that the feet go really far forward. We're using this pose to neutralize the spine after those big back bends. The toes spread. Bottom of the rib cage is drawn in. Half happy baby. Keep your left leg where it is. Lower your right foot down to the ground. Right knee towards the ceiling, right hand on top of right hip. With the left hand, pull down. With the left foot, push up. So we're doing two opposite actions to create more strength. Active stretching creates more flexibility in the body, and typically people that have more flexibility feel younger, which can lead to a greater sense of physical well-being. And bring the left ankle on top of the right thigh. Pull the leg in close to the body. Keep the lower back flat. Interlace the fingers on your right shin or behind your right thigh. Now the left thigh is moving away from the body. There's an external rotation in the left leg. The shoulder blades press down onto the ground. Back of the head towards the floor. Keep the length in your neck. You might see if you can create a little natural curve in the spine to intensify the stretch in your left hip. And gently remove the grip. Wrap your left leg around the right leg, eagle legs. Hook the toes behind your right calf, or just let your feet go side to side. Hands to the side of the body. Lift your hips up, swing your butt to the left. Drop both of the knees down towards the right. You keep your gaze up towards the ceiling or turn your head to the left. Whatever gives you the deepest stretch. Well-being, or being well. Taking us out of a place of dis-ease into a place of happiness, of joy, of positivity. When we're happy, when we're positive, we're much more receptive to the world. So receive, feel the abundance, and feel your overall well-being expand. Bring the knees back up to the center. Unwind the legs, bring both feet to the ground. Press your bum down, lift your hips, and recenter your pelvis. Happy baby, both legs up to the ceiling. Flatten the low back on the ground. Pull down with the hands, press up with your feet, and you can gaze straight up to the ceiling. Spread through the toes. Armpits are hollow. Half happy baby. Lower your left foot down to the ground. Left knee straight up to the sky. Left hand to the left hip to encourage the pelvis to stay neutral. The arm is straight, but the right foot presses up and the right arm pulls down. And figure four with the legs. Right ankle on top of left thigh. Draw the left leg in close to the body. Reach the arms through, interlace the fingers, and bring your head back to the ground. Release the hands. Bring your right leg over top of the left leg. Hook the toes around the calf. Arms out wide to the sides. Lift your bum up. Swing your bum to the right. Drop the knees down towards the left. And twist. And to cultivate a greater feeling of well-being and a greater overall well-being, bring gratitude into this practice. Take a moment to be grateful for someone that you really love and cherish. See them in your mind's eye. Notice the details of their face. Notice what they're wearing. Notice how they're wearing their hair. And see them smiling. And hold them in your heart. Bring the knees back up to the center. Unwind both of the legs. Feet down to the ground. Lift your bum up. Hips down. Savasana. Turn the palms up at the side of your body. Straighten the legs. Lie flat on your back. And be grateful for your health. Gratitude for this strong, healthy body that brought us to the mat. Be grateful for the food on your plate. This food often travels many, many miles just to get to us. Be grateful to the farmers that grew the food. Be grateful to the sun that fed the food and allowed it to grow. Be grateful to the earth. And be grateful for everything and everyone. For your overall sense of well-being. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Now you may choose to stay here in Shavasana for a lot longer. If you're ready to come out of Shavasana, begin to turn your ankles and turn your wrist. And expand the movements into bigger joints of the body, elbows, knees, shoulders. You can always pause the video to spend as much time in Shavasana as you feel you need today, or come back to it once we're done. One leg at a time, bend the knees into the chest. Reach the right arm up over top of your head, roll to the right, and rest your head on top of your right bicep. Left arm down, fetal position. When we're born, our spine only has one curve. As the muscles develop, we build strength in the neck to lift the head. The cervical spine begins to curve. As you start to build strength and learn to crawl, the arch in the lower back comes in as well. This fetal position is a symbol of where we came from, of our infancy, as if we're being reborn. Lift yourself up. Sit cross-legged on your mat or with your hips on your heels, whatever feels more comfortable for you. Bring the hands to heart center, thumbs touch your heart, and bow your chin into the chest. And bring to mind one more thing that you're grateful for. And tuck the gratitude into the back of your heart so you can carry it with you for the whole rest of your day. Namaste. Thanks for joining me again, yogis. If you have any questions, please put them down in the comments. Subscribe to the channel, and when you subscribe, click the little bell. That's going to send you notifications through your email so that you know when I release a new vinyasa or aerial yoga sequence. And I hope that you have a really great day, have an incredible practice, and hopefully I will connect with you very, very soon in person or online. You can find me on Instagram at Acacia Jade Yoga. Ciao, yogis!